Hey everybody, Dan here with Fin Feather for Outfitters. Today we're looking at the Taurus Judge, the famous Taurus Judge. I remember when this was launched over 12 years ago or thereabouts. It blew up. People were like, what the heck is that? And around the same time, the Smith & Wesson Governor came out, and it was a battle between Smith & Wesson and Taurus. Taurus has been able to keep the price down on this, and they expanded the line quite extensively. Really amazing what they did with the Taurus line. We're going to talk about it, so let's do it. The Taurus Judge is available in many different sizes and colors. Well, the colors are primarily stainless and black oxide, so that's the two choices that you'll see. Both are very popular, but the way they expanded the line is pretty amazing. This is your standard Taurus Judge. It has a 3-inch barrel, a fiber optic front sight, tunnel rear sight, double action, single action, 5-shot, double action revolver chambered in 410 shot shell, 45 long Colt. Great revolver. People love it. And many people say that's the perfect snake gun. You take a couple of those 410s and see a little critter around there you don't want to see, and boom, there you go. It's over. But they actually have a 6.5-inch barrel. Can you believe that? And a 13-inch barrel. They call it the Taurus Judge Defender. Something along those lines. Really a crazy looking Taurus Judge. But they also make this in somewhat of a snub nose with a 2.5-inch barrel. So the Taurus Judge really expanded, and everybody was shocked. I was certainly shocked when they came out with a Toro model with an optic on there. I'm not sure this is the type of revolver I'd want to put an optic on. I remember people saying, hey, use an optic on a revolver the same way you would a semi-auto. And I get that point, but I don't know, with a 410 or a 45 Colt, this is the type of revolver that you're going to want some heavy power with. If you put some of those defensive 410 loads in there, it is really going to do some hurting on a 2- or 4-legged creature. But the further you get back, that's where you see some of the limitations, and the 45 Colt steps up to the game. Now, I showed you it's a 5-shot, all right? And so you could scatter those rounds, intermix them however you want. Taurus uses a transfer bar safety. There it is. It drops, and as the hammer drops, that strikes the firing pin, sets off the round. But there it is. It's got pretty much a full underlug. Huge cylinder. Get a load of that. That is one huge cylinder, and it has to be for those heavy rounds. The rubber grip works well with the 45 Colt especially. You can see it has some ribs back there, some texturing, slight finger grooves. It's a nice grip, actually. I've always said I like wood grips on stainless revolvers, but this one I'd probably just keep the same. I was at the Fin the other day, and there were a couple dudes in there. They really were interested. They looked at all the Taurus Judges. They wanted a optics ready model. I kept my mouth shut, but I'm thinking, why would you put an optic on there? Unless you're going to shoot 45 Colt. Now, most people that shoot 45 Colt, they typically shoot, or they reload, so they can shoot often, because it's very expensive. 410 can be expensive, but it has dropped in recent times. So that's what you're looking at there. It's a heavy revolver. There's no doubt about that. It's a heavy revolver. Double action pull is not too bad. All right, I would guess 12 pounds, and then the single action, well, that's always nice. Looking at a little over 5 pounds with that, which is standard with Taurus revolvers. They don't have those super light triggers. But what would you use this for? I remember when Taurus first launched it, they had this commercial where some guy was getting carjacked, and the guy getting carjacked pulls out this Judge and points it right at the guy's face, and the guy backs off. It was a great commercial. But I suppose you could do that with any handgun, but there's something about this Judge with that big cylinder that's a little bit intimidating. Look at it from this angle. Would you want that thing pointed at you? I wouldn't. This thing is really a beast. You put some some 45 Colt in there, and you'll definitely feel a little bit of recoil. And that 410 shot shell, I tell you, I've done some tests with 410, and I will mention that in a rifle, anyhow, it turned a jug of ice into little snow-like particles in a way. But there it is. Now let's get this on the scale. It's unloaded, obviously, but I want to see what this thing's weighing in at, because this thing is no joke. 34.4 ounces. Okay, actually it says 34 well, now it says 34.2, so you're looking at 34 ounces, a little above that. But are you interested in the Taurus Judge? Is this something that you want? You want the longer barrel, you want the shorter barrel, or you're not interested at all because you're into that 357 Magnum? Once again, Dan here with Fit Feather for Outfitters. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.